from these. The one I want to talk to you about today, though, is this one. This is Grant Gorsling. And it's kind of fitting because the story of Grant and what I call breaking the blind actually starts in San Diego. And so I picked this story today. Now I'll tell you, I've told this story a number of times. It's not the first time I'm telling this story. I will tell you, it doesn't matter. This is a very difficult story for me to tell, and so if it becomes difficult for me to tell, I just want you to know it's not for a lack of routine, it's just because this is a hard thing to describe. So it starts with, we're running a phase 3 trial, the first ever phase 3 trial for a stem cell therapy for a condition called graft versus host disease, pediatric graft versus host disease in children. And it's a big trial, and it's got 70 centers all over the world, and 260 patients are being enrolled into it, and it's a double-blind, placebo-controlled trial. And that's because that's what the FDA asked for, and we're putting patients into this trial, and things are going along, and we're really feeling pretty good about this. And I get a call while I am in San Diego Airport, where I'm about to head off to, and I get a call, my cell phone rings, and it's from this physician, bone marrow transplant physician at the University of Miami, who's taking care of this child. And he says, hey, I got a problem. One of my kids has been randomized to placebo and in the trial, and he's gonna die. And I said, hey, I got a problem. It's a blinded trial. So how do you know you have a kid? He's like, no, I've taken care of a lot of these kids before, and I know, this kid's clearly on placebo because there's just nothing happening, and he's gonna die. And I say, that's what's supposed to happen. It's the hard part of this. I said, the guy who's all about patience said that's what's supposed to happen, because that's what's supposed to happen in a double-blind placebo-controlled trial. You're supposed to have kids get put on placebo and die, and then you're supposed to count how many kids you have on placebo that die and compare them, to the number of kids you have on active that didn't die. And that sucked. And so I get on the plane and I fly, and I'm flying back, I'm back in Baltimore, so I fly all the way across the country back to Baltimore, and it's Friday, I'll never forget it's Friday. Because when I land in Baltimore, I get a call, my phone rings again, I'm not happy about any of this, and I get a phone call again, and it's Grant's mom. Now, I don't know who gave Grant's mom my cell phone number, but if anyone wants Dr. Kleiner's cell phone number, let me know. And she calls and she says, you're not gonna let my kid die. And I said, no, we're not gonna do that, because we're not that company. And if you knew more about the backstory about all of this, that would make even more sense to you and why we wouldn't do something like that. And so I didn't know what to do, so I called FDA. It's Friday, I'm in an airport, I haven't been home all week, and I call 2 people. I call the FDA and I explain to them the situation, and I call my wife and I say, you're not gonna believe this, but I've gotta go to Miami tonight. And so the deal we worked out with the FDA was, again, this is a phase 3 double-blind placebo pivotal registration trial. They will let us break the blind on Grant, but here's the deal. If he is on active, it's over. If he's getting the drug, then that's all there is, and sorry, things aren't going to go well. If he's on placebo, they will authorize emergency treatment with the active agent of the drug, but we are going to incur the penalty of breaking the blind, pulling him out, losing the power, and all that other stuff. So I fly down to the University of Miami. We go inside the bone marrow transplant unit, and it's you gotta, cat knows. So you go in there, you gotta take off the clothes, you get in scrubs, and you go inside this little tiny room. And you're in this room, and in that room is, because they wanted to do this in front of him, is a 14-year-old boy. There's Grant, Grant's mom, Grant's dad, who's a Navy SEAL, like 9 feet tall, and could break me like that, and the physician.